This is Festival Sounds. I'm Bilal.
And I'm Tilly.
This week, we're joined by an award-winning broadcaster, Kavita. Hello, Kavita.
Hiya! Oh my God, stop.
What are we going to chat about?
We are chatting packing. We are very close to Glastonbury. I have not started. I'm a last-minute packer. I normally do it the night before, but I'm already thinking ahead. Got to get up. It's
saying the
ready.
night before is making me sweat. How can you do this?
Should we play Festival Dickhead at the end as well?
Yeah! It is my dream to play Festival Dickhead. I can't wait.
What is your essential packing item, Kavita?
So, do you know what? Number one on my list is actually something I discovered last year, which is a brand new thing. Have you heard of soap leaves?
What? What is soap leaves?
So it's a little packet, I'd say about the size of like your thumb. And then you flick it open and inside are lots of tiny leaves of soap. So when you're out and about, you can have it in your little bum bag. And you know, when you use the long drops, I don't know about you, but I hate what's it called? Sanitizer. It's all sticky and gunky and I feel dirty and I don't feel clean. And even when I wash my hands with the water, I still don't feel clean. But these are just tiny bits of soap. You take out the leaf, you wash your hands, it lathers all up. Amazing. And it's tiny, it fits in your handbag. It's like
blown my mind.
It's incredible.
That's a game changer. Yeah, because, Glastonbury hand sanitizer is the sticky hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
I take my own hand sanitizer like a proper geek, just because I don't want that feeling. This is what I've needed.
And you know the feeling when you're putting hand san on, and especially if it's a dusty year, and like you look at your hands and you're like, they look dirtier than when I went in. Like it looks horrible.
Yeah, and they're somehow sticky and dry at the same time, and you're like, and dirty.
Yes, that's the sensation. There's no other place in the world you feel that. You're supposed to be feeling different sensations at Glastonbury, not that
not
one.
Sticky and dry.
What time of the day are we talking?
And what day are we talking?
It's Wednesday, guys. We shouldn't be sticky and dry on a Wednesday.
You know, things don't always go as planned. I thought someone was going to say, your tent. Make sure you take a good tent. No, straight into the detail.
No. Yeah, a good tent is also really important though. Because you don't want, and check it beforehand. Go to a park. If you don't have a garden, I don't have a garden. Go to a park or an open space. Luckily, my friend checked our tent in her uncle's back garden. Check it for holes. You don't want to, it might be, we don't know, it might be a rainy year. And check that everything's there. Because you also don't want to get there and suddenly, you're missing some poles or some tent pegs or something. Because what are you going to do?
My tent over the winter just stays like bundled up. I took it out last weekend. Oh my God, the smell.
It's like a ceremony. You're like, I've got to do the tent ceremony. You dread it, but then once it's done, it's you feel a bit more relaxed. And you end up finding things that you'd long lost in the bottom of the tent. Because when you like pack up on a Sunday and or the Monday morning, you're like, I just don't want to think about it. You wrote, I found some socks in there last year. Yeah, so much glitter, so much bits of grass.
Every year I think I'm going to buy some glitter and I'm like, oh no, it's still in my tent. It's fine.
You can just roll around.
Are you a glitter person, Kavita?
Yeah, am I a glitter person? I'm a glitter queen. In fact, I think I've got more sparkly outfits than I have normal outfits.
Nice.
But I've gone for, I try and do biodegradable glitter though. And I used to be really bad. I used to use hair gel and stuff to stick it to my face. Now I'm a lot more conscious of my own skin as well as, the planet. So now I use, Vaseline actually works really well. Although if it's a hot year, it goes a bit smudgy. And last year I put on gems and they'd all gone before I'd even barely left the tent because I was sweating too much.
Are those the gems that you kind of press in one go onto your face and it gives you the whole look?
I had individual gems and I'd painstakingly made patterns on my face.
And they were dripping down your face.
Yeah.
Next on the list is a mirror.
Yeah.
If you want to do gems, you need a mirror.
Mirror's a good idea as well. But does a mirror count as glass? Because we can't take glass into the festival.
I take a little metal one, like a camping mirror. It's about the size of a credit card. And that worked. I glitter up. I shave at a festival because, as Tilly will tell you, I'm an old man. And so my beard is like really grey. I want to hide that. And so I shave like every day at a festival. So, but this little mirror is fine, a little camping mirror.
I think this year could be the year of the glitter beard for you, Bill. You know, the glitter beards are quite iconic.
It is a guaranteed way to be photographed and be on a national newspaper. If you've got a glittery beard, if that's what your goal is, my goal is to be anonymous. But if your goal is to be like photographed, yeah, go for it.
Maybe you should do like glitter sideburns or something, try and stand out from the crowd.
I'm literally telling you I don't want to stand out in the crowd.
I was about to say, can we dye your hair white or silver and then glitter it?
Okay, so if I own it and go full like Silver Fox, that I'd be game for. I think I'd carry that look.
Yeah.
At a festival.
Well, why not test it out this weekend? You've got time.
That's true. That's true. There is time.
That's another thing, though. Hair. Like normally, it's really funny. My hair's long at the minute, and normally it's short, and I'm already panicking about how I'm going to maintain my hair in the dust and the dirt, and you know.
And a pretty essential for me is always a bit of dry shampoo. I have to have dry shampoo on me because just you wake up in a sweaty tent and you just need something to just calm the hair down.
Yeah, that's a good tip as well. Yeah.
Have you ever had Lush fairy dust?
No.
Oh, it's incredible. Do you know they have Snow Fairy at Christmas? Well, every Christmas I buy a bottle of, it's the powdered version of that. And it's got like glittery stuff in it as well. So you shimmer as you're like walking around. Like your arms, I'm not talking, you know.
Oh, so is it like body
like
cream?
talc.
It's kind of like body glitter, I guess, but it's like talc, but it smells amazing. It's like perfume, but also deodorant, but also talc is great.
I'm going to add that to my list.
Yeah, you walk around smelling like Christmas.
You can always tell if someone's come in contact with Bill because they'll be pink and sparkly, and I'm like, you have met Bill today.
That's a good tip because, like, I do like in everyday life, I am like, do I smell? How do I smell? But when you're on the field, it's kind of like everyone smells. Doesn't matter. But it's also nice to have, if you're wearing something that smells nice, when you're going past something that doesn't smell nice, it's nice to smell it and you smell yourself instead.
I'm gesturing, but you know that look of people in the long drops where they've got their face in their elbow?
Yeah.
That is a classic Glastonbury look. Only at the long drops. Deep breath before you go in.
Yeah. Do you take a little hook for the long drops to hang your bag on?
What?
You know those little hooks you can get over the door, which is just an S-shape hook, and you can get them on Amazon.
I've never thought of that before.
And you
That's
just
smart.
put it on the back of the door, and you hang your backpack or your bags on there.
This is why you're the guest for this episode.
We could have got you on like 3 years ago.
I wouldn't have known about soap leaves 3 years ago.
True.
What do you do for layers? Because it gets cold at night. Do you have sparkly layers?
So No, I don't. I need to get some sparkly layers, actually. I am a person that needs to be warm. I get really cold. Last year, I took 2 like electric little heat up devices. They're not very big, though. They're the size of a mouse. They're only about this big, this and that. But they're only about like the size of your palm. And I would fall asleep with that. But it still wasn't great. But
like a little radiator.
Yeah. It's like it's called a hand warmer, and it looks like a mouse, and it just heats up.
Wow.
Oh,
and it's just rechargeable and you just plug it in. But I take lots of layers. My friend was around when I was packing last year and she told me off. She was like, you don't need 4 jumpers. And I was like, yes, I do. 1 to sleep in, 1 to wear during the day, 1 to wear at night, 1 extra just in case.
I mean, there's a segue into get a better sleeping bag, but we'll cover that later.
This actually reminds me, the other day I saw, I can't remember where it was advertised, but it was an airbed with like heated, it was like a heated airbed. So like, I guess you'd be like lying on it. I mean, probably near the duvet, maybe not a sleeping bag, and that it would like slightly warm you.
Oh, that sounds like.
And you could like put it on a timer, so it would warm you for like 20 minutes, and then it would turn off. Isn't that so cool?
That is really cool.
Probably beyond my price range for a camping airbed, but amazing.
I think we need to reintroduce this as the lavish packing episode.
Yeah.
It's not Glastonbury on a budget. That's gone out the window. I think that's what we recorded like 2 years ago. If you want to find that episode, go look for it. But we've moved on now. I love layers. It gets cold at night. I've invested in one of those ponchos. So I have this thing where I'm trying to buy more from the festival traders because they do such a good job setting up and making the place amazing. And I looked at this poncho hanging up. I think I was with you, Tilly, and I was like, I don't just want that poncho. I need
It's because
that poncho.
I also had a poncho and I was like, we need to be poncho pals.
Poncho pals.
It's so warm. It's incredible. You know, people have like hoodies and jackets and all that. I could be tempted by those, you know, those really long fur jackets. I could be tempted by that. But no, this poncho is incredible. So if you're looking for something, and they're super colourful as well.
I would really recommend a poncho, especially because I double my poncho up. Like at night, it's a blanket on my, an additional blanket on top of my sleeping bag. And during the day, during the evening, it's on my body. It's honestly very versatile.
That's good. I have a thing about I don't like mixing my sleep stuff with my outside stuff.
Especially if it's a wet year, there's times you don't want to do that.
Yeah, you have to have... If it's a wet year, then I'd say as well, bring a spare pair of clothes, put them in a bag for like your going home clothes at the end of the festival or when you get home or something. Or if you're driving, that will be then what you change into to get into the car so you're not taking mud into the car.
A fresh pair of socks and shoes when you get in the car is a game changer.
That is
just
smart.
something you haven't been wearing for 5 days.
Yeah, exactly.
And leave a bottle of water in the car or something, because chances are if you're walking back from the Glastonbury site, you've trekked with all of your stuff. I mean, it's probably less heavy than on the way there because you've drunk all your alcohol, you've eaten all your snacks. But by the time you get to the car, you probably want a drink.
Another tip going back to tents and sleeping, if you put something underneath like your roll mat or whatever you're sleeping on, that will also keep you a bit warmer, which I learned. So I bring like a really thin blanket, which just is so tiny it fits into the top of my backpack, and put it underneath my I've got like a thin, I don't have a proper airbed. It's just one of those small airbeds which self-inflates. I put it underneath that.
I'm with you. I can't do an airbed. I like the mats. The airbeds feel too squishy. Does that make sense?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Oh, I'm an airbed through and through. I've got a compact little, it's like a tiny little travel pump, and it's so fancy. You tap it twice and it turns on, and it's obviously just battery operated, so it's rechargeable, so you don't even need a plug. You don't need to be, when you can tell people are pumping up the airbeds, just the sound around camp is just like and it's like you just know. I thought it was quite a good impression, actually.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Right there.
Yeah. I'm like, if I close my eyes, I'm there. But I've got a little rechargeable one. It's great. Would recommend.
That's so good.
Inside the tent, are you a tent fan person for a hot night? You get those little rechargeable fans.
I don't even use a fan at home in summer. I'm a hot water bottle kind of girl, and I like being warm, and I don't want a fan. But I think if you asked anybody else, they would probably say yes to a rechargeable fan in the tent.
I don't have one. I've never needed one, but I see people with them. They swear by it.
I'm never exactly hot at night at Glastonbury.
No, me either.
I think I have a better sleeping bag than the two of you, don't I?
I do.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's got that brush cotton. It's about £100, right? And I bought it, and I'm like, I'm going to keep this for life. And it has served me really well. But it's really thick. When you're carrying it into the festival, you're like, geez, what was I thinking? But yeah, you're roasting at night. But that feel of like nice cotton, it's lovely.
Do you know what I was thinking this year? If I can fit it in, we're driving, but I have to get to my friends, so I have to still carry everything. But I was considering taking a spare duvet and putting it in one of those vacuum bags and seeing how heavy it is and carrying that with me.
Smart.
I was like, then, yeah, because sleeping bags, maybe I do need to upgrade my sleeping bag.
How would you vacuum it on the return journey?
I was hoping he might just drop me home and I don't have to do
No, I see people walking into the festival with a proper pillow, sometimes 2 pillows, and a duvet. And I get it, because sleep is so precious. You don't get much of it. And if you've got to make it as high quality as possible. I get that. Those creature comforts make a big difference. So yeah, I'm never going to criticize anyone. How people pack for a festival is up to them. But yeah, there's a bit of envy when I see it. When I see them at the campsite on the queue on the way in, I'm like, oh, and this is your problem.
I saw
What were you thinking?
I saw the funniest picture the other day of somebody at like a day festival, and they'd pitched their tent like it was a tiny little pop-up tent, and they'd put it on top of their airbed because they couldn't fit the airbed in the tent. And I just thought, sometimes you've got to do what you got to do.
Oh no. Yeah. That's why you got to test your tent.
Test the tent. Test how big your airbed and your roll mat is. Is it going to fit in the tent?
We've done what to bring. What shouldn't you bring?
So I have a Karen in my life with an I, not an E, and she's amazing. She's written a whole Excel spreadsheet of what to bring and what not to bring. There are, hang on, let me scroll down, 101 items on this list.
Wow.
Whoa.
She came prepared.
She's amazing. Yeah, she came prepared. It's even broken down: hot year, cold year, wet year, clothes and shoes, snacks. So I kind of use this as a base, and then I've built onto it. But also, and what not to bring. Don't bring a gazebo, guys.
No gazebo.
Who's bringing a gazebo?
No, you don't need it.
No. Of course, you can't take glass bottles inside.
I always decant my champagne in the car park.
But into what? Because the fizz.
Yeah, okay, so this is what happens, genuinely, and Tilly has been there whilst this has happened, right? I decant into an Evian bottle with one of those sport caps, right? And I think this is fine. And I put it in my trolley. And at some point, as it's shaking up, it just explodes in the trolley. Champagne goes everywhere. And we're like, I guess we'll drink it now.
It's part of the fun. It's part of the festival experience.
This is not a problem. Drinking champagne sooner than expected is always a great thing. It's never a bad thing.
I just given up the idea of having Prosecco or champagne. I never even tried to bring any in like that. That's such a good, but dangerous, but good idea. I'm going to try it.
It is always champagne. For a while, we wanted to brand the podcast as other podcasts are just cheap Prosecco. Because it is always champagne. But then we thought, no, that's mean to other podcasters because we love other podcasts. So, but that was in our little kind of ideas kind of brainstorming. That's what we one of the things we came up with.
Bill can't live. Bill's top tip for packing would be champagne, actually.
It's the number one thing, I think. What type of champagne am I taking this year? It's all about making it special because you just get these few days of magic, and I want to make the most of it.
And at the end of the day, it is a holiday. Like you're on holiday. Kick back, relax, enjoy your champagne.
Kavita, you need to come hang out at my campsite. I tell you, the party's there.
I'm coming for a glass of champagne. How do you keep it cool?
Oh, no, that you just...
You have
that's
warm
a step too far.
champagne out of a plastic bowl.
Again, I see the people with the amazing cool boxes, and I wish I could do that, but no, I'm not. It's just tepid champagne.
Yeah. Tepid champagne.
What else is on this 101 list?
More things you can't take in. Things like lasers. Like you can't bring your own little laser pens or Chinese lanterns. But
Can we very quickly say lasers is dickhead? We don't even need to do dickhead for that. No. You're a dickhead.
Lasers
don't do it.
Yeah. But I think you can bring your own cooking equipment in, can't you? Those little portable stoves. So that counts, but you can't bring in like other fire.
I want this list, by the way. This list sounds amazing. What else is on there?
So much. Shall we talk food?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Now, I've been getting a lot of like TikTok videos of people saying, what to pack for Glastonbury, and a lot of them saying, don't bother bringing food, there's stuff there. And I'm like, no, wrong. Bring food. You need your snacks.
I always bring something to have for breakfast, because breakfast is not something I'm going to really go out and do in a festival. I mean, I know there's places that do full Englishes and whatnot, and I know you can, at a festival, you can have any food for breakfast. Like, no one's going to judge you. But I always go for, like, a brioche or, like, a croissant or, like, something quick. And I always take those mini cartons of orange juice because I don't want to be getting scurvy while at Glastonbury. Need my fruit and veg, need my vitamins. So a tiny orange juice and a brioche will go a long way.
That's such a good idea. I didn't think about those mini orange juices. I have an electrolyte sachet in a bottle of water in the morning. That usually fixes me, but it's the same thing, as the orange juice. You need your vitamins and your minerals because it's a long slog.
It is a hard slog.
I take pills into a festival, and those pills are a multivitamin. And if security have never looked at it, and I would have been like, "Look at me, look at how old I am. Believe me, these are multivitamins."
I've definitely told this story before, but one time at Glastonbury, like I unzipped my tent, and Bill's already unzipped his tent. He's looking a little rough around the edges, and I just looked at him. I went, "Are you okay?" Pops 2 paracetamol, and he goes, "Just to take the edge off."
Yes, take paracetamol, right?
Yeah.
It's just like I stand by what I said. Just a little bit, when you're feeling it.
I would go as far as saying, if you're planning to take paracetamol, take the ones that have the caffeine in as well. It's like paracetamol and caffeine mix. If caffeine's your thing, I mean, maybe it's not, but like it just gives you that little. If you've already got a headache, at least you're going to be awake as well.
I gave up caffeine 2 years ago. I have to
Really?
do that. Yeah.
What do you do late at night if you need to pep yourself up?
Sugar. Yeah.
You're probably going to sleep better than an 11 p.m. espresso martini.
Yeah.
Not going to do you any good, is it?
Fun though.
Although last year, my friend did get me a coffee. Well, I still drink decaf, and I was like, "Is it definitely decaf?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You sure it's decaf?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then literally a minute later, somebody said, "Oh, I got this espresso martini can. It's salty caramel. Does anyone want it?" I was like, "I'll have it." Everyone was like, "Hold on a minute. You were worried about the caffeine I got you, but you were happily drinking it." Like, it's different. It's different. It doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
It is different.
Yeah.
Instagram knows this, and maybe because every so often we've messaged on Instagram to set this up, maybe Instagram is sending me what you've been looking at, because I got an advert for a keg of espresso martini today.
That wasn't me.
Oh, that sounds good. That's one-upping my bringing a cocktail box or like a wine box. That's bringing a keg. That is some dedication.
It was £100 and you could get 50 espresso martinis out of it. And I was like, if there's a couple of you, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
That is.
I'm not saying I'll do it because I've got to take a keg into Glastonbury.
At least you can roll a keg,
You can have it behind you.
You could fashion your own festival trolley with 4 kegs as the wheels and a little I think this is doable.
And that's how you make friends with your tent neighbours as well.
Okay, so if you offer, going back to the champagne, if you offer a little squirt of champagne to your fellow campers, they are immediately friends with you.
Friends fly.
And I do squirt it into their mouth from the bottle. Because I don't want to catch whatever they've got. I'm not letting them swig from the bottle. What am I?
Hands free.
I know I'm northern, but even then I've got boundaries.
Agreed.
And then they protect your tent as well when you're not there. It's really important to just make friends with people around you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
By giving them drinks.
Do you take little tinnies, little cocktail cans and stuff like that with you?
I do, yeah. I'm partial to a gin and tonic. I like I'm really into orange gin and tonic at the minute. So I'll take some of those.
Is it those Tanqueray cans? There's an orangey one of them.
Yeah. Sevilla, I think. Sevilla. Oh, I can't say it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yummy.
And then, some whatever's on offer, to be honest, whatever's on offer when we're doing the online shop as well. Yeah.
Whatever Tesco can get me next day is what I'm taking.
I am getting hammered for adverts for Moth cocktails.
Me too.
And this £60 cocktail bum bag. And it's a cool bag. And the advert is like, oh, it's so good value, this, that, and the other. Until you add £60 for a bag. that stops making it good value.
Very true.
The cans themselves, I get it. Why pay festival prices? That's what the advert is. But you can have a £60 bum bag.
No festival's charging £60 for...
No, for 4 drinks. Look, I get it. Having cold drinks is nice, but I think the marketing's slightly off. But I have to say, Moth, if you're listening, I do like your cocktails.
If you're taking cans and one of your friends is going to the bar to get cider or something, just ask them to bring back a glass of ice, and then you're sorted.
Oh, that's a hack.
That's clever.
Yeah.
That's very clever.
Because
I think you're more charming than I am, though. So if I went up to a bar and said, "Can I just have a glass of ice?" I'd get charged for it.
Or you've got to try and do it with someone else, while someone else is getting with another person, and then it doesn't look. Then it doesn't look, like you're just trying to get something for free.
Oh, nothing. Speaking of ice, nothing will ever beat those frozen margaritas I had. I think it was near. Where was I?
I know where it is. It's in the park. It's in the park area at the top. That little place, because I've had the frozen margaritas there. I think it's called Bimble Inn.
Yeah, I think it might. Honestly,
No.
maybe everywhere does frozen margaritas. Maybe it's not that much of a hack, but they were so good.
Yeah, I had them and I concur, they were delish.
Yeah, and especially if you've got a hip flask on you and you're wanting to spice up the margarita and make it stronger, just little splash in there, perfect, on your way.
Everybody listening is like, I want to hang out with these three. They are just going to get loaded on the Wednesday. It's going to be a hoot.
Champagne, espresso martinis, and then followed by frozen margaritas. Wait, what have you got in your flask? What is it, like rum and tequila?
I usually just have like some vodka in a hip flask because mixes with most things. Bill, you often have like a very strange flavoured rum. Just because it's quite funny to be like, salt and pepper rum, anyone? And everyone's like, huh?
All right. No. It was Kendall mint cake rum, right? Not salt and pepper rum. Kendall mint cake. It was nice.
Yeah.
People loved it.
It was good. But
sure.
I like an alcohol that's going to go with anything, because then if you go to the bar and just buy a mixer, you could get lemonade, you could get, I don't know, Coke, you could get anything and it would go.
Yeah, clever woman.
Who wants to play Festival Dickhead?
Me.
We've had a listener message us, and they've said that they're all booked. They've all got the Glastonbury tickets. There's 6 of them. They're looking forward to like getting in there. It's just a couple of weeks away. And out of nowhere, one of their mates has said they've booked hospitality camping for just themselves. And the question is that friend who's gone to hospitality a festival dickhead?
Oh, see, this is an interesting one, because on the one hand, he's gone off and done it by, I'm assuming it's a he.
We just know it's
they. Sorry, yeah. I'll revert to that. They've gone off and done it by themselves. But so like they've isolated themselves from the group and been like, but did they invite anyone to come with them, or did they just go off and book it? Yeah.
No, they just went off and booked it, and they haven't invited them either, because most of them can at least sleep too. But they're like, no, I've sorted it for myself. They've paid for themselves.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. On the one hand, dickhead. On the other hand, it's nice to have somewhere with a shower.
True.
Is there more to this?
I'm not doing general camping this year. Don't hate me.
Get off the podcast.
No. Are you in hospitality?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it hospitality. I'm still bringing my own tent.
Are you in glamping?
I mean, yeah, maybe glamping you'd call it, but
interesting.
it's just
didn't know you were like that, Kavita.
No.
Didn't say that at the start, did she?
Yeah, remember your ticket, remember your tent, and remember your fancy ass showers.
And not that, but, well, yeah.
That's why she didn't know about fairy dust. She doesn't need it.
She's like, I smell fresh as a rose every single day. I don't know what you're talking about.
It all comes together now. All makes sense.
Well, let's see. We don't know how long the queues are going to be. Because I'm like, I've done it once before. When I look at the queues and I'm like, nah, can't be bothered. And then I'll just do a baby wipe wash.
What actually are the perks of the glamping? Like, so showers, is there any others?
Nice toilets. It's quiet. So
Is
like,
it?
yeah. So it's just nice to have like a space which is where everything's not just crazy and you can have a moment of calm, especially in the morning and in the evening. Yeah, and I think that's one of the main reasons. Because often, like last year, I really struggled with the crowds and noise, so I kept taking myself off to. Why is my brain gone blank? Where did you run into me, Bilal? Where were we? Woodsies.
Woodsies.
Yes, I keep going to Woodsies, and I just last year I just went and laid and looked at the sky. I really didn't sleep well last year either, so I need to up my sleeping game. Maybe get a new sleeping bag. But I think especially if you're a bit neurodivergent or you need some time away, it's really good to have that space. So that's why I do it.
There is a problem when you make such a well-reasoned case.
And we've just made fun of you for being a horrible person.
Yeah. We're going to have to work for this, Tilly. This is not low-hanging fruit.
No. I would say that I think personally in this scenario, what makes the person the dickhead is that they didn't consult their friends, because deep down, he must know his friends are going to be jealous. Like, deep down, he must know.
Do you think it's a flex?
I think so.
I love how you've gone back to he, by the way.
Yeah, sorry there. Or maybe that's his tactic, because he's like, well, I know this yurt sleeps too, so...
If we're assuming it's the male perspective, right? Let's say it's this confident guy and he thinks, maybe I've got a chance. Yeah, I'm a good-looking guy and I got moves, and maybe I'm going to take someone back to my yurt or whatever it may be. Maybe there's a reason he's booked it for just himself. I mean, that can equally apply to a woman. I'm just giving my male perspective. I could see why that's less of a dickhead, because he's like, just he doesn't want to keep his mates up at night, so to speak.
Or depends if he's going there if he's trying to pull someone there. Do you fancy coming back to my yurt? Has anyone ever said that
might
line
be the funniest line that you can ever give to someone.
So maybe taking it to the glamping is not the worst thing.
At least, I mean, do the yurts have slightly thicker canvas? Probably not. So maybe it's going to be a noisy field. I don't know.
One other thing to add to the packing list there: earplugs.
Yes, very true.
So loop, alpine. What are the other ones? There's some other ones.
The ones you get free in a bar, which are jelly.
Yeah, any of those. But yeah, I absolutely am a huge fan of those. So yeah, I'm on that. Right, we need to decide. It's getting late. We need to decide, dickhead or not.
Even though I'm not camping with the general, I'm going to call him a dickhead.
Oh, you've converted.
I have. Oh no!
You boxed us into a corner. I was going to go, not a dickhead.
It's the difficult thing because he left them on their own.
That's the dynamic.
He's letting his friends slum it while he has the best weekend of his life. So I think that equals dickhead.
All right, I concur. Kavita, it's been lovely having you on. We'd love to have you back sometime.
Oh, thank you so much. Anytime, I'd love to come back. This is my 9th Glastonbury. Obviously, next year we've got a fallow year, so I'm going to have to wait for my big 10-year. But, yeah, I'd love to come back and talk about disasters, maybe festival disasters, maybe festival wins. Who knows?
And you can give us a first-person perspective of the glamping field.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that. I'll record for you on the way. I can be your roving reporter.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, we would love that.
Kavita's in the field.
It's really quiet. I can hear. Ooh.
Yeah, listen to this, and it's just crickets.
Yeah. Or maybe people playing cricket because, those are the kind of people that come.
The full lineup's out. Have you seen the Kneecap Weezer clash?
Yes, I'm a bit worried about that. I mean, who are you going to choose? How are we going to choose? Because I had both of them quite high up on my list. Yeah, I'm really not sure what I'm going to do.
That's going to split the masses, isn't it?
They've moved Weezer from Woodsies to other because I think they knew it was going to be popular. But that kind of makes it easier to do maybe half of one, half of the other, because you can leg it from other to West Holt's.
Yeah.
You'd really have to leg it. Yeah. Am I sounding really northern?
No.
Leg it
there. But it depends on the crowds, doesn't it?
Yeah, and if every man and his dog's also trying to leg it from Kneecap to Weezer, then it might be a tricky one.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get to Kneecap unless you're there the act before. I think it's that popular.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those. And I wonder if it's going to be one of those that either is a set that's talked about for years to come, or one that's so highly anticipated and then it kind of lets everyone down. It's going to go either way. No.
But the run into Kneecap is Bob Villain, who's brilliant. Really good.
Yeah, Bob Villain's great.
Punky. I saw him at Shambhala. Brilliant show.
Oh. And they're of the moment. Weezer might come back and do a tour. You'll see them do the same songs. But will you ever be there for the Kneecap gig at Glastonbury the first time when it's in the moment?
Do you know those acts that you see when you get back home and you see the crowd and you go, oh, I wish I was there?
Yeah.
I think Idols in 2019 maybe at the park.
That Dave one. I missed the Dave one and I was thinking about that, yeah.
Billie Eilish on Other.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. You want to be there for it when they're on the up. So, yeah, I think Kneecap wins it.
Definitely. Tilly, I have a question for you.
Yes.
That Friday TBA, do you think it could be Timothy Chalamet?
I hope so. I would love for the festival gods to prove me right and Timothy Chalamet just rocks on stage and then he goes, this is for Tilly on Festival Sounds.
That's the dream.
Yeah, yep.